Okay, so good evening, guys. I am Akshat Gupta from MFC, and this is our Django Live series, session 2, en route models. So let's start in a minute. We'll be starting soon in a minute or two. Just hang in there. Okay, guys, so let's start with the session. First, let me just check if I am audible to you guys. So just write in chat if I am audible or not, and then we'll start the session. Okay, so I guess I'm audible. So let's just see what we have learned till now. So till now we have learned what is Django framework, what is virtual env, or how a Django folder is structured, and what are views, what are URLs, how do you map URLs to views, how do you make views define functions to the request you get from a server, and all those things. Template and static folders, we have also studied how you make templates for the HTML files and how you make static folders and place JavaScript, CSS, or your static images in them. And MVT, basic of MVT, we have seen in our previous video, which was model views template architecture. Now, in this session, we will be going deep into MVT, and let's see what we will learn in this video. So, in this session, we are going to make multiple models and connecting them with foreign key. It's like creating multiple tables in an SQL file and then connecting them with the help of primary and foreign keys. Also, we will be looking into Django user model, which is a default model provided by Django to us that we can use to authenticate and authorize user. Now, coming to the authentication and authorization part, there is a bit confusion to almost everyone out there that what is the difference between authentication and authorization. So, authentication is basically checking whether a person who is claiming to be someone is actually that person. For example, if I am claiming to be Akshat Gupta, that authentication means now I have to check that actually I am Akshat Gupta or not. On the other hand, authorization means now I have claimed that I am Akshat Gupta and the system knows that I am Akshat Gupta. But now I want to access a file or a view or anything I want to access. So am I authorized or do I have proper permissions to access that file is known as authorization. So authentication is like claiming who is one is going to be, and authorization is checking if he has a particular rights or permissions to access the particular thing. Coming to Django forms, Django forms are like basic forms which you can use in your HTML templates to get user data, and messages and handling multiple views and URLs we will be seeing later in the section as we go along. So let's jump to our terminal and make the project. Okay, jumping to our terminal and yep. Okay. So in the previous lecture, we saw how a virtual environment is made in Windows command prompt. This time we will be using WSL. So let's make a virtual environment. Let me name this virtual environment as a second session. Okay, it says Python 3 command not found. So let's just go with normal Python. I guess you guys have created that virtual env. So yep. Sorry, I have some issues in my command prompt. I need to fix it. Just a second, guys. I will fix it soon. And so till now, I hope you guys have watched our previous videos and know how to create a Django project. So you guys can continue on and I'll catch up with you guys in a second. I need to create my command, I need to fix my command prompt. I guess it's having some issues. Okay, so I guess I might not be able to show you my command prompt. It's having some issues. So I'm going to activate my environment and then pip install Django. You all guys know the drill, how to install Django in a virtual environment. So continue with running the command pip install Django. Installing Django might take a few seconds or a minutes depending on your network, and if you have previously installed Django in your computers, then it will use the cached version. So no need to worry, it will take a minute, and then we'll create a project. Okay, it's almost installed for me, Django, and we will be moving to our project. So I guess you guys can see my atom window. Yep, you guys can see my atom window. So now we have installed Django in our virtual environment. Now we need to create a project. So creating a project means running a command, and that command is Django-admin start project and your project name. So run that command and let's create a project. Okay, my Django is still not installed, and now let's wait a second. It's taking too much time for me to install Django. It happens in virtual when you use WSL. Okay, I can see you guys are so much excited. So yeah, let's just do it quick. I don't want you guys to wait. So yeah, I have created a project named second. So this is a second session. So I guess second makes sense, creating a project name second. And now I'm going to make an app inside this project. So you all guys know, first you need to go inside that project. If you have used Django-admin start project second and then place the dot, then you don't need to go inside that second project folder. It will just create outside. And if you guys haven't placed dot just like me, then you guys need to cd into the second directory. So I will cd into the second directory, and then I will run command python manage.py start app. Let's name it second app. So yes, I have created my second app. Now let's add this into our settings. That's the first thing you do when you create the app. You need Django to know that, okay, I have created an app. So yeah, let's write second 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 app. Yes. Okay. Now these settings, I'm going to play a little with these settings, and one interesting thing you can see here is time zone. Now time zone, it's set in UTC. So you will notice in India, UTC plus 5:30 is a time zone for India. Now when you will be running your live server, you will see that actual time in the live server is 5:30 hours before the time actual here. So we'll change this time to match with our timeline. And it's Asia/Kolkata. Okay. Now in this project, we will be going to use media files. I will tell you about media files later on in this section. So, yep, let's import settings for media files. And media file settings are, I will just play smart and copy paste them here. I don't want to waste time and explain it. So, first, I need to import OS because I'm working with the path. Import OS, and then, so first thing is media directory. Media directory is os.path.join base directory and media. So why we have used os.path.join? Because you see in different systems, the category in which you structure the folders are different. Some use forward slash, some use backward slash, and somewhere the project is placed in XYZ folder, sometimes it's placed in YZX folder. So to keep it symmetric, we have used os.path.join, which will automatically join the base directory path of our folder and add media to it. Now we have just added media folder here, so we need to create one folder for media also. I'll create a folder, media, like this. Okay, media folder created. Now media root. So I'm telling Django that all the media files are placed in this media directory, which is known as media root. And media URL is /media. When you will go to this URL, you can see all your media files. We'll talk about this later when I will show you how this actually works as a URL. All those files we placed in media are actually served as a URL to the HTML templates. Okay, so we have set it up our settings here. Also, we will need templates because of course we are going to use a HTML files. So what better to make a template folder? So I will make a folder templates. And inside it, I will also make a folder called second app. Oops, I created a file, sorry. I need to create a folder, new folder, second app. Yep, second app folder created. So, is it a folder? Yeah, it's a folder. So here I need to tell Django that I have created a templates folder and all my templates are stored there. So in this template section, you can see there's a DIRS. So that means you have to give the path of your templates folder here so that Django can recognize all your template files are placed in that folder. Now, okay, let's place it os.path.join, similarly base directory, base dir, comma, templates. Okay, we are good to go. We have set it up our settings. Now let's move to our app. In app, let's create models first. So coming to the models part, I have decided we will make something like a movie rater for this session, which first we will add some movies and then users will be able to add reviews to those movies. And to add reviews to those movies, users will have to be logged in to our portal to provide a review. And if they just want to see the reviews, they don't need to log in. For giving a review, you need to log into our website. That's how it works on other websites, If you okay. So let's create a model, simple model for movie details. Class movie details. DETILS details, and it's from models.model. Okay. So first thing in this model will be, let's say, name. It's going to be a character field. Okay, H is small, char field. Max length, I think 260 will be enough. Next field, let's say it will be date of release of the movie. So I can't write date of release of the movie. So let's keep it short and write DOR equal to models dot date field. So yes, Django provides something called date field by default. Next thing will be the description of the movie. Description. So models dot text field. So thing between char field and text field is char field has a limit. It's not meant to be for something you can type paragraphs in. It's short and precise. Text field is anything. You can place a single dot up to a paragraph or an essay. Anything can be there. And next we are going to upload images of the movie, like a movie poster. uh, image of the movie. Image equal to models dot image field. And here you need to specify when I will upload the image to our model, then where will that image be uploaded in the file structure? So upload underscore to, and here I give movie underscore images. Okay, now I will just define str self and return self dot name. So yes, we have created our first model. We will just do a little bit tweaking in this model later on in this section. I will show you why it is needed. So let's just see how this models look like in the admin panel first. Okay, so you guys need to, unfortunately, I can't show you the command prompt. There's some error in the command prompt. So I'll tell you what commands you need to run. So first you need to run python manage.py make migrations. So we have made our app, we have created our model. So we need to tell Django that we have created our model. So just migrate the model. Not exactly migrate those models, but create a migration files for those models. So, yep. Okay. So you might notice that when you run this command, you will get an error. The error is package pillow not found. It will say something like if you have named the app second app dot movie details dot image cannot use image field because pillow is not installed. So when you are working with images and all those kind of media files, you need to install an additional package called pillow. So installing it is pretty easy. You need to run the command pip install pillow. So yep, just run those commands. I comment this out just in case. Okay, pip install pillow. Okay, it's installing for me, and it should not take a long time. It's just a small package. Okay, it's installed. Yeah, it's a very small package. It's installed almost simultaneously. Now make migrations. Now you can run make migrations command. Okay, I ran the make migrations command and it showed me migrations for second app migrations, created model, movie details. So let's just explore what this migrations command did. So you notice here a folder has come called migrations, and in that 001 initial.py file is made. So you can see it has made our migrations.create model, name movie details, fields, ID, name, date of release, description, image. You can see we didn't made actually an ID field here, but Django has automatically made this ID field for us to refer each and every entry in that table uniquely. You can see it's auto created true, primary key true. It's an auto field. It's automatically incremented every time you enter an object. So now we have created migrations. We need to shift those migrations from Python files to our SQL. We need to actually create those, push those migrations to our database. So for command for that is python manage.py migrate. Okay, I will comment it here and just copy it, Control C, paste it in my terminal and enter. So yes, my migrations are applied. You will be seeing something like apply all migrations, admin, auth, content type, second app, sessions. So if you guys are curious enough to know what those actual lines mean, so those are the actual tables that Django by default makes for us. And if you guys wants to explore those tables, what those are, just open any SQLite 3 visual on Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever you use and upload this file, db SQLite 3 file there, and you can see what tables are actually made by Django for us by default. Okay, good. So, yep, now we need to run our server. And yeah, just run server. Python manage.py run server. And yep, our app is working completely fine up to here. I got the localhost link as an output. So let's just paste the output in window and check what is the result. Uh, I guess my screen is visible as a Firefox screen is visible. Yep, my screen is visible as Firefox. So we are seeing this congratulations message. That means our app worked completely fine. So now let's change the URL and try to go to the admin page /admin. Okay, now it's asking for a username and a password, but I have not yet created any admin, a super user or anything like that. So let's make a super user first. Super user is kind of the highest authority that can access the admin portal. So you need a supervisor to administrate your whole application, right? So super user is that, and we need to create that super user first. So to create that super user, first go to your terminal and stop the server by pressing Ctrl+C. And now type the command python manage.py create super user. Press enter. It will ask for username and I will just give test as the username. It will ask for email address. Just put anything. It should be a valid email address. Valid in the sense that it should be a syntactically correct. Not it should not be an actual email address. It can be an actual email address, but it should be correct as a regex. So test@gmail.com. That's all I always use. Password. I will use test password. Press enter. Test password. Now when you will be typing password, Django won't actually show what you are typing. It will just be a screen. So yep, super user created successfully. Run the server back again. Okay, so now we can use our freshly made super user. So let's log in with that super user. So login means we are authenticating. Here first we are authenticating that I'm calling myself test and I am claiming my identity by putting the password test password. So now Django will check that actually I am the test user or not. So yes, I am the test user. It authenticated me and showed me this admin portal. Now you will notice that I created a model called movie details, but it's not showing here. It's showing me users, groups, but it's not showing my model. So I need to fix that thing. So how to fix that thing? Let's go to our atom and go to your app. In that, go to admin.py file. So first you need to register your models here in order to show them in your admin panel. So for registering them here, first I need to import those models. So from dot models import movie details. I guess that was the name. Yep, that was the name. So to register that models, it's quite simple. Just write admin.site.register, pass in the movie details name. Yep, we are good to go. Now the server should refresh automatically and let's see how our portal looks now. Okay. So I'll refresh the page. Refresh. Yes. Now I can see the my model here. Okay. Now I'm seeing currently a slight odd thing. Actually, I named my model movie details, but it automatically put a space between movie and details and gave an extra S with the details. So why did it do so? So let's actually learn the reason behind why it did what it did. So come to Atom and or whichever the text editor you are using or ID you are using, models. So we named our models as movie and then capital D details. Now, when you name your something like first name, last name, and first name F capital, last name L capital, like movie M capital, details D capital, it's called camel casing. And Django automatically recognizes at two different names and puts a space between them. Now, let's come to the part where it put an extra S behind that movie details. So what it did was it actually converts the name in plural. So it automatically puts an S. Now we can change that name or we can just do smart work and remove an S from here. But removing an S from here is not the solution. Let's suppose you are naming your model as countrymen. Let's say you are naming your model as COUNTRY, country MEN, men. Now, what is going to happen is when you will see the Django administration panel, it will be actually named as COUNTRY, country men's. Now, it's grammatically incorrect. MENS doesn't mean anything, it's grammatically incorrect. So, we need to fix this thing. Now, to fix this thing, we can do is create a meta class. Meta class is actually the details for this class. It's actually a subclass within a class. So you don't need to go in deep inside meta. Just I'll show you what the syntax is to make use of it, and I'll paste it here. Class meta. Okay. So just write class meta. Now, what are verbose name and verbose name plural? So verbose name is the actual name for that model, and verbose name plural is Django. What it does is when you use plural, it automatically puts an S behind the model name. So we are just overriding its plural definition, verbose name plural, to movie details itself. Whatever I will put here, it will use that. So now let's check our model. I have saved this. No need to make migrations again. It's just an additional information about the model. So no need to make migrations or migrate the command. And let's go to our admin panel and check now. Okay, let's refresh the page. And yes, I can see movie details. It's fixed. Let's go inside movie details. It's showing 0 movie details. I have not added any movies in it. So let's add a few movies. First movie, let's just write Mission Impossible. I really like that movie. Release date. Okay, so you see, Django is quite smart. It automatically gave me a calendar picker. So release date, I'll say 2nd February 2021. Description, I'll say Tom Cruise movie. You can put in anything. I just need to keep it short and not wait. I don't want to waste your time. And upload a image here. I'll upload a image. I have some images saved, so I put up just a random image here. And yes, let's save it. Save. So model created, one model object created. Let's create a few more models. I will write Hitman. Okay, I'm again a great fan of the character Hitman. So Hitman Absolution. It's a game I recently played. So yeah, just inputting random stuff. Hitman, Mission Impossible. Okay, let's create one more movie and let's just say Mission Impossible 2. Date of release, let's say 8 March. Tom Cruise Part 2. Let's upload a image one and save. So yes, I have created my 3 objects. Now these are called objects for the movie details model. So movie details is a model and these 3 are objects for those model. Okay, so let's go back to our editor and continue our work there. And yep, I'm back on my Atom editor. So when I'm back on my Atom editor, you will be seeing in media folder an additional folder movie images is created and all my 3 images are placed inside this folder. Now why it was this is because I wrote upload to movie images. So it automatically detected my media folder, created a folder named movie images inside it and placed all my 3 images in that folder. So yes, now let's continue. Now I have added these movies as a admin. I need to show those movies to users, and for that I need to create templates and views so that normal users can also see that movies, not as a admin. Okay, so let's do it, and I will create my app. I will go inside my views, and let's first create a basic homepage view. Okay, so I will call it def view, not view, def only, and def homepage. Let's call it, homepage. I'll pass in request, and then I will just okay render the template. We'll create a template now. Return render, and for rendering I need to first pass in request. We discussed all those things in the previous lecture, so if you don't are confused, so render is it takes in a template and a context dictionary to show you the template. So inside the template folders I have made a second app template folder, and I will make a new template inside this folder called homepage.html. uh, homepage.html. Cool. Homepage.html. I'll just add HTML in that later in just a second. So I will write second app slash homepage.html. And guys, if you are having any doubts, just ask in chat sections. I'm always available in chat section to view your doubts. Homepage.html, and for now I will just pass in a blank context dictionary. So I've created a view. Now I need to map that view to a URL. Now there are 2 ways I can do that. I can use directly the main project URLs, but it's a good practice to keep the URLs of your app in a separate file inside the app so that you can easily use that app anywhere. Those URLs will directly go with the app. So I'll make a new file inside it called urls.py, and first I need to tell that I'm using an additional file. I will include path anything, and include second app.urls, comma, save. So what I'm doing here is in the main URL, if anything comes other than admin, if admin comes, it will show admin.site.urls. It will go to the admin panel. If anything other than that comes, it will refer to second app.urls file. Okay, I'll copy this one here. Control C, paste it in this thing. Remove the current this one URL. I don't need include here. I don't need admin here. Yep. So I need my views here. So from dot import views. So I've imported a whole views file instead of just importing views one by one. I've just imported the whole views file. And dot means from the current directory. So inside the current directory, I have a file views. So I hope it's all running good on your side. Okay. Now, so if anything comes, I need to, go to refer my views dot, what was my views name? It was homepage, views dot homepage. Cool. Views dot homepage. Yep, I need to name this URL name equal to, I will name this URL as home. Save. And I need to also mention app name here. App underscore name equal to second app. Okay. So I've created my views. I've created my URLs, mapped the URLs to the views. What is left? So according to the definition of MVT, we have created models, we have created views, connected those views to URLs. Now T part is left. T part means template. So template part is left. So let's make a template. I'll make a base template file so that I don't need to write my code again and again. Base.html, and I'll show you what we can do with this file in just a minute. First, let's just check whether it's working fine. Our HTML homepage.html file, and we will cite h1 app check. Let's just do my check. Let's just do app check. So just check whether your server is running or not. If it's running, then hop to your browser. Okay, I'm on my browser. You guys will also be seeing that browser. Go to the home page. Nothing here, and we get app check. So that means our view is absolutely correct. It's mapping properly. So now, as I said or you might have seen in every website, there is a nav bar, and on that nav bar, you have multiple tabs, multiple options. It shows whether you are logged in or logged out. So there are two ways to make that work. Either you can do from scratch, make a navbar, import CSS, write CSS for it, or you can be smart just like me and use Bootstrap. So I will use Bootstrap to save my time. So go to https://getbootstrap.com, and let's just first copy its CSS. I will copy the CSS, paste it in my atom. I will create this base.html file. I'll create in the head. I will paste it. CSS only. Okay, no need for this cross origin or integrity thing. I will just remove it. Cool. Now again, I will go to browser. Copy the JavaScript. We will be needing JavaScript. Bootstrap requires this JavaScript for few of its parts, few of its components, and we will be using those components that require. So I know it in advance. You guys will be soon too when you will work a lot with Bootstrap. So yep, I will copy it. Go to this one, my item, and paste it, the header. Okay. So, yep, it's working correct, I guess. Some issues here. Nope, there's some just little error. Okay. Now what we will do is we have imported Bootstrap settings. I prefer to call those settings. It's just actually Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript. I'll go to Firefox and let's just go get started. So here is a quite a pretty much very good documentation for Bootstrap, and we'll go to components, and first we'll need, you can see there's a lot of components here which are pre-coded for you, and these are actually responsive. So that's the great thing about Bootstrap, all those components are responsive. So I'll go to Nav Bar, and I'll just need this one, basic Nav Bar, and I will just tweak it a little. As for I don't need those search or any of those buttons. I just need a nav bar with few of my options. So I will copy this and paste it in my base.html file. Okay, so base.html file, I'll paste it like this. It's here. Yep, beautified it. Cool. And now, okay, so I need to modify this code as per my requirements. And what I need is, first I will just remove this brand as Netbar. I don't need Navbar. I will name my brand as Movie Rater. Looks pretty much cliche, but it will work. Leave this untouched. Now, yep, items. So first item I'm going to need here in my navbar is, okay, so let's just do a little twist here. So I want to check whether my user is authenticated or not. If it's authenticated, then I will show him his username and logout button. If he is not authenticated, then I will show him sign up button. So how we can do that? So it's basically an if condition. Now, so syntax of if condition here is if user dot is underscore authenticated. Cool. So it's basically called Jinga templating, Jinga 2, Jinga 2, Jinga 2 templating. And if he is authenticated, I will just write username. It's not actually his username. I'm just writing a blank text here. I will show you how to write username. Okay, let's just write the actual username here itself. So user dot username. So there's a thing to notice in Jinga 2 templating. Whenever you are applying some logic, for example, if condition, for loops, or any loops, those kind of things, you need to write %%. And whenever you are injecting a value to the template, you need to add that value in double brackets. So what I'm doing here is user dot username. So from user model, pick its username. So that's what this means. href, I'll just add it on later on. And yep, I don't need anything like this anymore, not that form either. Yep, remove this, remove form. Okay, I will need a few of these again, Control C. So now if a user is logged in, then I need to show him the logout button also. So let's make a logout. button. Cool. So now I have accounted for the cases when user is logged in. So when user is logged in, we'll just show him his username and a logout button. Now coming to the else condition. So percentage else. In else condition, what I will display here is I will display a sign up button. Sign up as in when user wants to register to our website, we call it sign up, and a login button if he already has an account on our website. So a login button, and that's it for the else case. And we need to end our if else statement here by writing and if. So this if condition, it's basically just a Jinga templating, nothing to worry about. We'll check this user.is authenticated later in this section. I will explain you it in detail. And okay. And after this nav bar, I will write block content and end block. So a little thing here which we I guess haven't discussed in the previous lecture is this block thing. So this just makes our work very easy. Now I can refer this template as a template to other templates. For example, suppose I was not using this base template and I was just directly working on my home page. Now for every template I would have made, I need to just copy this nav bar and paste it in every template here to and pasted this. I would have also needed this boilerplate code. I would have needed that nav bar code, and then I would be coding my homepage, actual homepage. But now I don't need all this stuff. Tata, bye bye. What I will do is extends I will write second app slash base.html. Cool. And then block content and block. So any code placed inside this block will actually be placed here after navbar in this block content. Any code placed here will actually be placed here after navbar. So every template will have navbar and all these boilerplate code by default in it. Cool. So for testing, let's just write again h1 base template extended. Cool. I'll save both the files and check our server. Yep, it's running. Let's hop to our Firefox. Okay, I'm on my Firefox. I will refresh this page. And yep, you can see my navbar is here and it says base template extended. So when you will see, I haven't actually placed anything other than base template extended in my homepage.html file. And this file is actually homepage.html. But when I extended homepage.html from base.html, it got all the base.html code here. So I'm seeing this pretty navbar here. It's a Bootstrap navbar. Okay, so our homepage is working perfectly fine. Now let's continue. So our template is working completely fine, but at the home page, I want a list of all the movies that are there in my website. I need to show the user all those movies that are there in my website. I need to show them upfront without them going anywhere in any other URL. So as soon as they visit our website, they see all our movies there. So what I will do is first I need to import my model from dot models import. My model name is movie details, and I will write here movies equal to movie details dot objects dot all. So what I will do is it will refer to the movie details model, collect all its objects, and give it to movies as an array. And this I will pass to my template. Okay. So whenever I will write movies in my template, it will actually refer to this movies model. Cool. So now let's go to our template and let's just first try to print the movies without any designing. Later on we will design it a bit. Okay, so for movie in movies. So it's basically kind of half Python and half Jenga 2 templating. And we need to end the for loop here, unlike Python and for. Now here what I can do is write h1 and I'm injecting a value, so double braces. What I'm doing is movie dot name. Oh, really sorry guys, I forgot to change my screen. Okay, so what I did was I referenced my model here. I imported my model in my views file, wrote movie details.objects.all. This just got all the objects from movie details model and passed it as an array in this movie, and I passed this variable inside the template. It is actually called context dictionary. So whenever I will refer movies in my template, it will actually refer to this variable movies. In my template, I created a basic for loop just for checking if it's working or not. And for every movie, I'm printing movie dot name. So let's check whether it's working or not. I saved this template and don't worry, all this code is on our GitHub and you can refer. It will soon be shared in our video description, so you can check out our repo there. So let's move on to our Firefox and refresh the page. So yeah, you can see I created 3 movies and all those 3 movie names are visible in H1. Mission Impossible, Hitman, Mission Impossible 2. So my template is working perfectly fine. Let's come back to Atom. Just to design this page a little bit. For designing this page, what I will do is let's check Bootstrap. So there's a thing in Bootstrap which we call as cards. So we go to cards and yeah, these nice little cards are here. So I will copy these cards and paste it in my HTML file. So copy, and my HTML file I will paste it here. Cool. Okay, so now let's just image src. I'll tell you later. uh, we need to refer our media files for that thing, so we'll tell you how to do that in a second. Now let's move to our okay. For this card title, I will be using card title as movie name. So I will I'm injecting a value, so double braces movie dot name. I believe it's a description for the movie. So I will write description. I will just inject description here. Movie dot description. I believe I spelled it correct. I will check my model. Yep, description. And then I will need one more paragraph tag where I will just inject my date of release of the movie. Date of release. And currently I don't need this A tag. So let's check how it's working. I'll go to Firefox. Uh, my here, here. Yep, cards are here. It's pretty looking pretty nice. It's actually working. And now let's see how to insert images there. For images, we will so when we need src, there's an src for an image, we need to give the src. So src is actually the url or relative url for anything, so path of that image. So path, what I will write is okay, so Django by default, so I referenced movie dot image, so I referenced it here. For movie, I referenced image field, and for all those fields that uses medias, Django automatically provides us an attribute called URL, which gives us the URL for that image so that we can use it as an SRC. So movie.image.url. So now let's check whether our images are here. Okay, I'm on browser. Hmm. So it's not showing me images. Let's debug this error and let's check whether from where it error is from. I can't see anything where the error comes from. URL, it's fine. And okay, I'm on Firefox movie.image.url. So tell me in the chat if you guys are able to view the images actually. So I've uploaded my images in the media folder, movie images. I'm not able to see the image. Okay, we'll fix it later. And I will check whether. Okay, so I just figured out where the error was. So error was basically in the file urls.py. Now the error was actually I need to tell Django that my URLs will, from media URLs, are something like this. It actually means, okay, I need to first import settings from django.conf as in configuration, and from django.conf.urls.static import static. So I need to tell Django that these are my URLs for the media. Okay, so now my server is refreshed. Uh, yep, my server is refreshed. Let's move to Firefox and try to reload the page. Yep, see, images are here. So when you will be inspect the page, let's inspect element. Let's try to inspect this image. So you see SRC, it automatically injected the source of the image, media folder, movie images folder, and that was the name of the image. And just don't go on the images. That's all I have as images in my laptop. Okay, so let's continue on. So now what I need is whenever I click on this go somewhere, first of all, I will just need to go into, okay, one more interesting thing here. I just noticed. It's showing me test and log out. That means that I am logged in. Now, why I am logged in is, see, admin, go to admin. Yeah, I'm logged in as a super user. So I will log out from here. I'm logged in. And now let's check our website. Yep, it shows sign up and login. So that means I'm now not logged in. So how to log in, how to create those login, we'll discuss soon. Okay. So now let's create another model. I've worked too much on this model. Now let's create one more model. It's time to make another model. Come to models.py file. It's time to make another model, and this time we will be making a model called movie reviews. So now it's time to give reviews to our movies. We have created movies, we have displayed user the movies. Now it's time to give reviews to those movies. Okay, so again, class movie reviews, models.model. So first of all, I will need movie here. Models.foreign key, movie details, movie details, comma, on delete equals to models.cascade. Cool. It's working. Yep, it's working. So save this movie models not foreign key movie details and on delete. So yeah, what this does is, so first of all, I need to tell my table that for which movie I am providing a review. So I need to reference the movie, that movie. So I am referencing that movie as a foreign key. So if you guys have a little knowledge about DBMS, you might know that we need a foreign key to actually connect to the movie model, to reference, to say that this particular review is for that movie. And what is on delete models.cascade? Now, suppose as an admin, I deleted that movie from my website. So if I'm deleting that movie, then I need to delete all those reviews attached to it movies automatically. So that's this command for. If movie model is deleted, then all those commands, all those objects will also be deleted for movie reviews. Cool. Now I need to know when the review was given. So date models dot date time field. So this time I also want time with the date, and I don't want user to just input fake time. So let's suppose a user is giving a review on date XYZ and he inputs the date as ABC. So this will create inconsistency in my data. The date is something else and he's putting up a fake date. So I don't want that. I want Django to automatically assign it a date and a time as soon as the model is created. So I will write auto underscore now equal to true. So what it does is, whenever an object for this movie reviews is created, it will automatically assign it a date. Now comes in the actual review. Review equal to models dot text field, T capital text field. Cool. Now you might notice one thing is missing. I referenced movie that okay, this review is for this movie, but how do I know that by whom this review was submitted? So for that, I will add an additional field, user, that by what user this was submitted. Foreign key user, comma, on delete equals to models dot cascade. Okay, so you guys must notice whether this user came from. So remember, I showed you in the admin portal there was a model named user, which is created by default by by Django for us. So first we need to import this model, and this model is in django.contrib.auth.models. Import user. So from authentication models from Django contrib authentication.models import user. It's a default user model created by Django for us, and it has some fields like username, password, first name, last name, and all those things. So yep, what remains here is define str self return self.name and self.name, and also I need verbose name because it will show me a double S. So I'll just copy, Control C, Control V. Okay, one more thing. It's not self.name. It's actually let's just give in a string review for movie. I will add in the movie name here, self dot movie dot name. Cool. Self.movie.name means refer to the model to the object itself, refer to its movie. With movie, as it's a foreign key, I can access the movie details also and refer its name. Similarly, I will add review for movie, suppose Mission Impossible. I will write by, will give in a name. So self dot user dot username. So yep, and here I will give movie reviews and movie reviews. Cool. Now as I've created a new model, and so you know the drill, python manage.py make migrations and then python manage.py migrate. So run these two commands, and if your server is already running, just stop the server by pressing Ctrl C, run these two commands, and then run your server again. So I'll run these two commands, python manage.py make migrations. So it created my model, and now I'll migrate. Migrations complete, and let's run up our server. Okay, before running server, we forgot to add this model in admin.py file. Without registering it in admin.py file, it won't show up in the admin panel, and we won't know what is happening inside that model. So let's import this model here, movie reviews. I will copy it, movie reviews. Cool. Now I will start my server. Py run server. Cool. So server is up and running. Let's go to Firefox and Yep, I'm on Firefox. Let's go to admin panel. Admin panel, I will just log in and I can see movie reviews. So let's add entries. Currently there are no reviews here, so let's add reviews here. Add movie reviews. So you can see it's already giving us an option. User, select a user, which user you want to reference, select a movie, which movie you want to reference, and then provide a review. And you see date is not coming because we told Django to automatically add a date for this. So test, and let's say I want to give a review for movie, and I will say it was an awesome movie, really enjoyed it. Save. So you see, review for movie Mission Impossible by test. And if we come back to Atom, we'll see what we did. Review for movie self.movie.name, i.e. this field. Self.movie means refer to this object and then go to name. Similarly, for user, refer to user and then go to the model user and refer to its username. Okay, so now I have created my model. I have created my one more thing I need to do is I don't want users to give review for movie again and again. So one user can give review a single time for a single movie. Let's say I'm a test user. I can only give review for Mission Impossible only once. I cannot give a review again. So if you guys have a little bit knowledge of DBMS, you might already know what we need to do for it. We need a compound primary key. So both user and movie should be treated as a primary key. That they both can't be same. The tuple, I'll show you, unique underscore together equal to, I will pass an user comma movie. So what this means is no two models, no two objects, sorry, model is this, no two objects can have user and movie same at the same time. Either the user should be different or the movie should be different. That indirectly means a user cannot give review for a movie twice. So we call it as a compound primary key, that these two fields together form the primary key for this table. So if we know these two things, we can uniquely identify the row or the object of the model. Okay, so yep, it is done. Now as we showed all the movies here, now we need to show the reviews of the movie. So you know the drill, we have created the model. Now we need to create view for it. So let's create a view for it, and I will name it as define movie description. Movie description because I will also be showing a deep description of the movie alongside the reviews. So yep, request comma pk. Now I will tell you while I have written this pk here in just a minute, and first I need to import my movie reviews model, movie reviews, and let's just write movie equal to movie details dot objects dot get pk is equal to pk. Okay, so what this command is doing, now in this view, I need to show the details of a particular movie. Now, how would I know which movie details I need to show? So I need to get the primary key of that movie so that I can fetch that movie and then display its detail. So alongside request, I have passed an additional parameter called primary key PK short form. Primary key short form PK. So PK primary key of the object of the movie details. And here what I've done is movie is equal to movie details dot objects. So from all the objects of movie details, get the object whose primary key is equal to the primary key given by the client. So that was this line's means. And for the reviews, movie reviews, I will name it movie reviews equal to movie reviews dot objects dot filter, and this will be movie equal to movie. Now what's happening in this line? So now I have fetched my movie for which I need to show the description and the reviews, and I have gone to movie reviews object. I have collected all its objects. You can see movie reviews dot objects. I've collected all its objects. Now I need to filter those objects for my current movie. I need to get the objects which actually are referring to the movie that the user has requested for, and that movie is this movie. We have, you know, retrieved the movie from the primary key, and then we have passed the movie as a filter. So we need to filter our reviews based on that movie. That's what this command is doing. So now I will just do the same thing. Return, render, pass in request, comma template name, second app, slash second app slash, I will name it movie description itself dot html, and comma, I will pass in these two variables in the context dictionary. So first variable is movie, it refers to movie variable, comma second is movie reviews, and it refers to movie reviews variable. Cool. So I've made the movie description view. Now I need to, according to the definition of MVT, I need to models we have created, views we have created, we need to map this view to a URL. So come to second app and let's map this URL. So path. Okay, so when I will refer to movie description view, movie description, and let's name it as movie description underscore description. Okay, so when I will go to movie underscore description slash int pk. So what this does is, so when I will go to this path movie description, this path will ask me for which movie you need the description for. I will pass in an additional argument pk. It is an integer value pk 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4, just like that. It's an integer value. I will pass in that value, and this value pk will be passed to this view as here pk. So we need this pk to access this view to actually know what movie description we want, or for which movie we actually want the description for. So that's what this URL is. When I will go to movie description slash the primary key of the movie, I will come to this view. First I will retrieve the movie from the primary key, then I will retrieve all the reviews for that movie and filter those based on the movie, and then pass in as a context dictionary for the template. So MV completed. Third part, template. Let's make the template. Template, new file. Let's name it movie description.html, I guess. Okay. Movie underscore description.html. Cool. Now I told you I have already made this base.html file, so I don't need to hard code all these things again. I don't need to, write doc type HTML, import the JavaScript settings, Bootstrap settings, and the nav bar again and again. I can simply extend it like this. I can write extends from second app base.html and end block. And now I can write my actual code for this template inside here. So it will by default have all those things mentioned here. Okay. So let's first print the name of the movie that we are actually movie.name, and now let's run a for loop. So logic, and for logic we use percentage. So for review in movie underscore reviews, p tag. First, just write the first I need review dot user dot username. So what it does is, for a review I will first extract the user, and then from that user I will extract its username, just like this. And now I will just print the actual review, review dot review. So review is a for loop variable here, and this review is actually the review here. Let's reduce our confusion and just write for rev in rev.user.name, rev.review. And let's also print the date. We have not seen how the date has been assigned, so let's just see the date here. Rev.date. I guess the name is correct. Yep, name is correct. Save the file. And okay, we have created the template, we have created model, we have created views, we have mapped those views to the URLs, and we have made the movie. So it's time to check whether the server is running. Server is up and running. Now let's go to Firefox. Okay, so our URL was movie description, movie underscore description /1. Now we have already created one movie, and we have created three movies, so IDs will be 1, 2, and 3. And now we have added reviews in Mission Impossible, which was actually our first movie. So let's go to our first movie and check what it shows. Okay, it shows didn't match any of these. It's giving me an error. So why it's giving me an error is because movie description, name movie, I guess there's no slash here. Let's check. Name request is not defined. Okay, giving me, let's fix this error. And oh, sorry, my bad. EST, REQUEST. I just misspelled request. So you see, Django was smart enough to tell me that request was not defined, and I instantly knew that it was something in my views. Now, okay, server is restarted. Let's move back to the Firefox and refresh the page. Okay, another error. So invalid block and block, expected empty or and for. Let's fix this error too. So come to our atom and so I told you in Jinga templating, we need whatever tag we open, we need to close it too. So I started for tag and I need to end for also. And for. Cool. Now let's go back to Firefox and refresh the page. Yep, it's here. So Mission Impossible movie name, and I've already given only one review. So test. It was an awesome movie. Really enjoyed it. And you notice March 23, 2021, 10:15 p.m. It was the actual time I gave my review on. It's automatically coded nicely here. March 23, proper time in PM. So that's good for us. Now, interesting fact is if you guys would not have changed time zone here to Asia Kolkata, you will be actually seeing a time that is 5 hours 30 minutes behind the actual time. So that's why I said you need to change the time so that you don't have any confusion that I just now made my model and it's showing a time, just a random time. So that's why I told you to change the time zone. Okay, so we have created the template, but I just don't like its design. So I'm gonna bootstrap it a little bit and I'm not gonna waste your time there. I will be smart enough to copy it as it has already been a very much time. So, yep, I've copied and I'll paste it. Sorry to rush the code, but you can always code it from the GitHub. So I just added a little bit call LG movie image.url. I've displayed the image. I told you how to display the image and movie image URL, movie name, movie date of release, movie description. On one side, I will be showing all the movie details, and on the other side, for now, I don't need this form. I'll show you this form sometime later in the section. And okay, so here are the reviews for rev in movie reviews, review date, review username, review.review. So let's see how I've designed this page in action. Okay, so let's hope to our Firefox, refresh the page. Oops, it's not refreshing. I guess some error on copying. Okay, I forgot and for. And this and for is here. I need to close the divs. Okay, sorry, I forgot to change the atom. So I need to close the divs. This one div is closed. Okay, I need to close the main div. Oh, sorry for all this trouble. And now I need to close my main div. I'll check whether it's a correct div. Yep, all divs closed. And for comes here. And let's check whether it's working. It's still an error. So let's open the page again. Let's check. Okay, it's not loading. So, yep, we need to fix why it's not loading. I'll check once again why it's not loading. Should not happen at all. Control A, Control C. So I'll just replace the whole code, remove whatever is not needed for currently. Yep, So I'll show you all those things in a minute or two. Okay, I guess we are good to go. Yep. Uh, on. So, yeah. Oops. I think it's currently very much weird why you guys aren't able to see the code. My bad. Shit. I'm really sorry, guys. I just copied the whole code in the home page. So it was my bad. I need to copy in here. Really sorry for the mess up, guys. I will make that up. It happens. That's what coding is all about. And I will comment out this form. Review. Yep. Now let's check it. Refresh. Okay, it's giving me an error. So it's not, remove it, and I will remove this one also. Sorry, and I will remove this form also for now. We'll see all those things in a bit. First tab base.html not found. So my bad, I didn't change the name here. I just copied it from my previous pre-made project second app. So yeah, it showed me the error. And all to refresh the page. Yeah, so that's what I made. A small card here, reviews here. It showed all the details, and it shows the date of release of the movie, which I gave Feb 2 2021, and then movie. So I guess we have come pretty far till now, and I'll check the comment section. I guess you guys must be pretty much spamming the chat section already. Okay, OP. So many emojis. Thanks, guys. It really means a lot. And F, so many errors. Yeah, it happens when you are coding. It happens all the time. It's just the nature. It happens. You need to debug your code a lot, and especially when you're copy pasting it, you need to be sure. That's what they say. You need brains to copy paste. Okay, so now we have completed our movie description page, home page. Just give me a second. I will fix the home page. I just messed it up. And okay. So, yep, I fixed my home page. And here you can see I've additionally given one more thing. If movies.count is equal to 0. Now, when we were in this, firstly, we didn't write this code. So what would have happened if we haven't added any movies? It would have gone to this for loop, and this for loop wouldn't have any movies in it. So a page would be empty. So first I check the condition if movies.count, whether my movies actually contains few movies or not. So if the count is 0, then print no movies to display. Instead of printing just a blank page, I printed no movies to display. And else if movies are there, then just go with the code. Okay, so now comes the main part. Authentication, authorization. Let's go to that. So for authentication, authorization, what we need is, so for authentication, we need two things. Either when a user is already signed up, or when a user has not does not have an account on our web page and he needs to sign up. So let's first make a page for sign in. That's pretty much easy. So define sign in, and it will give a request. Now if request dot method is equal to post, first I will write this pass and I'll tell you what's going to happen, and return render. So first I need a template where user can log in, request request, comma, second app slash login.html, comma, nothing to pass. So I will create the template later on. It's just a 2 minutes thing to create a template. So what's happening is, first I will serve then the page second app login.html. So let's just create the page login.html. Okay, new file login.html. Cool. I will just get my code. So it's just because we are running a lot behind time and I don't waste a lot of your time here. So I will remove this for a second. So what this page will be, it's just a basic, bootstrapping. And so this page will contain a form. So whenever you go to a login page of a website, it asks you for a username and a password. It's kind of a form. You submit it, you click on login button. So that's our form here. Form is not method equal to post. So we need to post the details. Now in Django, whenever you are using form, you need to pass in a CSRF token. So it's just a security feature for Django so that no one from an unauthorized place can send in the details. So just for now, just remember that you have to place a CSRF token here. It's just a format. Just remember it as a syntax to create a form. And then I have used a Bootstrap form. So you can just go to Bootstrap, or I'll show you where I get this form from. I will come to Bootstrap components, and I will search for forms and form control. Yep. So I've just copied these things. So okay, coming back to Atom. So login. So we need a username, input text, form control, ID, username, name, username. So remember, these two things are very necessary. ID you can give anything. Name will be whatever you want to call this field as. So in our views, we will catch the data from this field by referring to this name. Similarly, I created a field password and then a submit button, login. So when a user comes to this page, I have served them with this form. Now what happens when they submit this form? So when they submit this form, there's a parameter inside a request which is called request.method. Now if that request.method is equal to post, which will be true when the user submits this form, then I want to execute my logic. Then I want to check whether the user is correct and log him in. So to check whether a user is correct to logging him in, first I need to get the username that he filled. So username equal to request dot post dot get and username. So similarly for password, So what it's doing here is it's getting the data from the post request we just send by clicking this button, and it's referring to those names here to get the data, username and password. It's referring to those names. Now I want to authenticate my user. So Django already has an inbuilt feature for that, and we will use it. So user equal to authenticate, username is equal to username, comma password is equal to password. Cool. Now we are using this authenticate function, so we need to import it. And to import it, we need to import it from django.contrib.auth import authenticate. Cool. So if user, if it actually returns us a user, so if the details are correct, it will return us a user. If the details are not correct, it will give us null. So we are only going to go in if when it returns us a user. So when it returns us a user, we are just going to log him in. So login and request, it takes in a request, comma user. So what we are doing here is we are telling him that now log in the user which is given by the request and the user to log in this user. So again we are using a function login. We need to import it. It's same from django.contrib.auth. So just give login, and yep, after logging him, we will return him to TP response redirect reverse second app home. So I'll just first import these things, and then I'll tell you what they are actually doing. So why we use HTTP response and all those things. So I will just copy, okay, from django.urls import reverse, and from django.http import HTTP response redirect. So what it's doing is when we logged in the user, we need to reverse him to the home page. Instead of rendering the home page, we need to reverse him. So what reverse HTTP response redirect reverse does is, with the user logged in with the same request, it reverses the user to the home page. What render does is it completely gets a new thing and renders a completely new template. But we don't need this thing. We need the user to be logged in. That's why we used reverse. So it pushes user back to the home page. Cool. Now, so this was the case when our user exists. But what if user didn't exist? So else. And in else case, I will just basically write return HTTP response. I'll just print in a simple message called, let's just take him back to the login page. So return redirect, and I will redirect him to second app slash login. So what this does is, okay, first I'll tell you what this does. First I want to second app login. Now we haven't created our URL yet, but we will create it soon enough. And if the request, so what this view is doing is, if user sends in a post request, it collects the username and password. It's try to authenticate the user. If user exists, it's log in the user and pushes him to the home page. If the details are incorrect, it pushes him to the login page. It just redirects him to the login page again. So every time the user keeps on posting wrong details, he will be keep on getting redirected to the login page itself. And if the page is not posting anything, then we are just serving him with login.html. Now we have created a view and we need to map this view to our URL. So mapping this view to our URL, and we will give him path login / comma views dot sign up. I name my view sign up. Oh, sorry, sign in. Sign in it is. Sorry. Sign in, comma, name equal to login. Yep. So I've created a login page. Now I need to make a template for it. So let's create a template. Oh, sorry. I've already created a template for it. Now let's check whether it's working. And here I will just connect my URL for the login page in this template. So to connect it in this template, what I need to do is I need to give the URL for my login. And to give the URL for my login, I can do two things. Either I can give HTTP 127.0.0.1 and then, but what will happen if somebody is running our project on a different port, this URL will not work. So we need to pass in a relative URL. So to pass in a relative URL, we need to just, it's a logic. So URL, so URL for the view second app / login. So it will refer to this name login. For second app, go to name login. Okay, save. Now let's just check our server if it's running. Server is running. Let's move to Firefox and I will come here, refresh, move later. Okay, sorry, it's not there. So I will just log out from admin, log out, and now I will go to my home page. Okay, it's showing first tab base.html. Oh, sorry, I messed up in fixing my template. Just a second. Second tab base.html. Cool. Refresh. It's showing me error. Now, where's the error? I need to figure it out. Where's the error? Our first app is not name div. First app is not a registered name. Toggle. It's showing error in the 19th line. Movie rater, 19th line. 19th line is okay. So where's the error? Let's just figure it out quickly. I don't want to waste time. Login. It's good, 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 good. Everything is good. Movie description. Second app base.html. Everything looks perfectly cool. Base.html. URL. Second app. Login. Cool. Home page. Okay. Here's the error. Sorry. Second app. Cool. refresh. Yep. So when I go to this login, it shows again there's an error. Shit. Movie description. Oh, where's my login template? Login template. Okay. Second app. Sorry, guys. Cool. Go to Firefox. Refresh the page. Yep. It's showing me username. So let's give username and password and click on login. So you see, it's logged me in. Test and log out. This means I've logged in. So my login view is working completely fine. Now, once a user is logged in, I need to log him out. To log him out, let's make a view to log him out. Now to log him out, I will make a view, call it logout, and I hope define logout. I will name it user logout. You will know it just a second why I've named it different than actually logout request. I need to log out the request, est request, and then return HTTP response was same thing here. So first I need to log out the user and then push him back to the home page with the same configuration. Now as I said, I can't name this view as logout because I'm already using a function called logout. So it will show us as an infinite loop that inside logout I'm again calling logout and redefining it. It will show me an loop. Now what interesting thing here is for a user to log out, he first needs to be logged in. So I need to check whether a user is logged in or not. And for that, Django provides us a brilliant feature, a brilliant decorator called login required. Now here's a little bit Python. So this function will only run when the condition in this login required is fulfilled, and the condition in this login required decorator is the user should be logged in. So these things are called decorators, and we need to import those decorators. So let's import those decorators, and I will just do shortcut contrib.auth.decorators import login required. Cool. So we have created a view. Now let's map it to the URL. Create a URL, login, control C, control V, call it logout, 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 user logout, and log out. Cool. And I will map that URL to my Nav Bar, to the actual logout button. And similarly, I'm referencing here to the logout button. Cool. Now let's check our server. Okay, my server is showing me an error. Okay, return twice. Sorry, return. Okay, one more small error. Oh, I forgot comma here. Yep, now server is running, and let's move to Firefox. So refresh the page. Now when I click on logout, you see the user has been logged out. It's showing me again sign up and login. If I log in, it will give me I log in, I've logged in, and when I click on logout, it's logged out. Now I'm not a logged in user anymore. So Now this was only for users who have account on our website. Now we need to account for the users who don't have account on our website. Now for that we need to make another view. So let's create that view. Now I will be smart enough to copy those views because it's already 2 hours and I don't want to extend this session. I will copy the view and paste it. Define sign up. So what I'm doing it is, so yep, I've copied my view and I will just tweak it a bit. Okay, second app and just here second and here second. Sign up button. Okay, so what's happening here is similar to the sign in view. What's happening is if a user gives in a post request, what I'm doing is take in username, password, email, first name, last name. Now I'm checking, so I've taken all these details and now I'm checking if the user with a username that the user has given us already exists. So first I write user.objects.filter username equal to username. I'm trying to check whether user exists with the same username or not dot exists, then return him to the sign up page, i.e. show him an error that user already exists. Now I'm using a user model here, so I need to import that model. To import that model, I will just copy this line, import the model. Cool. Okay, now what happens if the user does not exist? It goes to the else condition. Now in else condition, it creates an object. So user.objects.create user. So create user is a special command used for user model for creating objects. For any other model, the command is different. I'll show you what that command is in just a bit. So for user objects, create user, we pass in the parameter, pass in username, first name, last name, password, email. So the user has been created. Now we need to save this user. Until this time, what user is an actually a object of the user model. Now we need to save that model object to the database, and to save it we run user.save, and once the user has signed up we return him to the home page, and then he will have to log in there. So let's first create a URL for it, and then we will create its template. So URL for it will be path and sign up and views dot sign up, I guess. Yes, views dot sign up comma name is equal to sign up. Let's call it sign up and come. Yep. So we have created the sign up view. Now we need a template for it. So I'll create a new file, signup.html, and I'll just copy the code and then explain you all what the code is. Okay, we don't need messages, we don't have time for this. And here it's second app, base.html, and similarly I'm taking username, email, password, and all those stuff in a form, and notice CSRF token, very much important. So yep, we have made our sign up view. Now let's check if our server is running and try to sign up a few users. Okay, my server is running, and I will move to Firefox. Okay, Firefox, I will refresh the page, go to sign up. Oops, I have not mapped this button to my sign up view. So let's map this button to our sign up. Copy this, map it here, sign up. Cool. Now let's check. Okay, sign up. Second, sign up HTML. Okay, I have not named it properly. So it's actually second app, signup.html. Cool. Refresh the page. Yes, it's giving me this page. So username, I will just quickly put in test2, email test2 at the rate gmail.com, first name test, last name user, password again test, password, and sign up. Okay, I have signed up. Now let's try to log in with that user. So test2 password was test password, login. You see we are logged in and we have created a user. Now let's go to our admin portal and check if it's working. Our super user was test, login, go to users, and we see here the user has been created, test2 user. And test2, now password, you see it has encrypted our password so that we don't know what the password really was. It has hashed our password. Now whenever we run authenticate command, it just hashes the password, the user given password, again matches it with this. If it matches, then it gives true. If it's not, then it just fails. So to protect the credentials of the user, it has hashed the password. And you see it shows additional details: date joined, last login, and first name, last name, username. Cool. So we have done till here. I will log out or no need to log out. So we have completed user authentication, sign up, sign in, login part. Now what's left? So you noticed that we actually haven't given any views for user to give reviews. We need to make a form where user can give reviews. So let's create that form. Okay, jump back to Atom, and this time we will create a form a little bit differently. And to do that, I will create a new file in second app called forms.py. This time I will be using Django method to create the forms. Okay, so from Django import forms, and I also need to import the model from .models, import movie reviews. Now so class review form, forms.model form, class meta, and model is movie reviews, and fields is review. So what's happening here? So just like we create models and we create a class, define the fields, and do the stuff, Django provides us a shortcut way to create forms. Like we hard coded forms in sign up and all this hard code we did. So this time we did was Django provides us a model form. Model form, we can directly create a form based on the fields of the model. So it takes in a class meta, and there you need to define for which model you need to make the form for, and for what fields do you account to. So sorry. So in movie reviews, I don't want user to I don't want to take user input. I don't want to take movie input. Date is automatically added. So the only thing I want to take is review from the user. So I passed in review here. Suppose I wanted to take user movie also, then I would have put comma user comma movie. But I don't need those things. I just need review. I just need review from the user, and all those things I will do it from my side. I don't want users to pass in reviews for any other person. So I will just do it from my side. I will identify which user it's giving and then modify the view. Okay, so now let's create a view for it, and cool. I'll be smart to copy the code and view, add review. Okay, yep. So I have named my view as add review view. So again, login required because I don't want anyone who is not logged in to add the review. So first a user needs to be logged in to give a review. Then I'm taking the request and PK. PK for movie. I need to know for which movie he is giving the review for. So from that movie, I fetch the from that PK I fetch the movie. Now again, if request.post. Now here's the thing. Now let's just do one thing, and I'll do one thing. I'll pass in form here. I'll import the form. So alongside when my movie description was showing the reviews, I need a form on that page itself. You're getting that? I need a form there itself so that user doesn't need to go to another page to provide a review. On that page itself, I will show my form. So let's do that. Second, first I need to fix it, and I will just comment this code for a moment that it doesn't throw us any errors. Okay, so I have created an instance of a form. Review form is a class, and I have created an instance for it. And now I will pass it in the context dictionary. So form, comma, it refers to form. Sorry, it's this save. Coming to movie description page. Now from movie description page, I will add my form here. Now form dot as p. So as p means print that form as a paragraph. Okay, so let's check what this does, and here I will just for now give the as hash because I have not created that URL hash. Okay, cool. So yep, let's check this if the form is displaying on this page because I passed in the form here, the instance of a form here. Cool. So let's check whether my server is running. Yep, it's up and running. I will switch to Firefox. I will go to home page, go to description, and it's showing form.asp and block. Did you forget to register and load this text? Sorry, the syntax of the form was wrong. So I was actually injecting a value and I used this. So it's not a logic, it's actually injecting a value. So my bad. This thing, okay. Now it should be running. Refresh the page. Yep, it's running. So you see my form is here. But on the whole page, I'm using Bootstrap. But this form is looking pretty much odd. It's not Bootstrap, but my whole page is in Bootstrap. So I can do two things. I can either hardcode this form in Bootstrap, or Django provides a package for this. So what we can do is you can install a package called Django Bootstrap 4. We can install this package by running command pip install Django Bootstrap 4. Okay, let's run this command in our terminal. I will stop the server and install it. Django Bootstrap 4. I will remove it from here. Now, as we have installed an additional app, I need to justify it in settings. So in settings, I will write Bootstrap 4 because I've made a app. It's called Bootstrap 4. Cool. Bootstrap 4. We have added it as an app. Let me check if it's installed. Yep, it's installed and running. Now what I will do is I will go to my movie description page and I will load Bootstrap 4 here. First I need to load Bootstrap. Okay, now first I need to load the contents of the Bootstrap 4 package that we just installed, and then I will print this form as a Bootstrap form. Here I will print this form as a Bootstrap form. Now this is a logic because we are implementing the logic of a Bootstrap form on our form. So this is a logic, hence percentage signs. So let's run our server and check how our form looks now. Back on my Firefox, refresh the page. See, now it's Bootstrap. You can see now form just matches with the theme. It's Bootstrap now. You don't need to hard code anything. Just install Bootstrap 4 and your form will automatically convert it to Bootstrap form. As easy as that. Now I have displayed my form on that page, but I need to handle the post request. What I can do is I can handle the post request in this page, it's in this view itself, but I want to make it clean, so I will handle the post request on another view, because this view is not restricted to the logged in users only, but I want reviews from the registered users. So I will display the forms to everyone, but I will handle the post request from only those users who are logged in, and hence I need a separate view for it. So I first check if a user is logged in, fetch the movie for which he wants to add the review for. Now form equal to review form request.post. And what it will do is it will automatically fetch data from the request and fit it in our form. And that means, just a second. Okay, yeah, and that means our instance is now filled with data. Now form dot is valid. Now this is a method that Django provides us by default to check whether each and every entry in a form is valid or not. Suppose our form here would have contained a field email and would have been an email field, but the user just typed in ABC. So that thing would have been rejected here because our form is not valid. The field was email, but the user just entered plain text. So our form would have been rejected here. If that's the case, if a form is being rejected, then just reverse the user to the movie page itself. Now what quarks mean, I will explain it in a second. Now let's just see what happens if the form is valid. Now if the form is valid, I need to save the movie review. Now before saving the movie review, I need to add user and movie to that object because my model here requires user and movie also. But we have already taken review from the user. Date is not a worry because it will automatically be added. So commit equal to false means it will generate a object, but it will not push it to the database. It will just be an object. Now we have created a review form.save our object for the model movie reviews. When we save form.save, it's saving this model movie reviews. Okay, so reviews.user equal to request.user, the user that is requesting. So if you will print request here, you will see what actually things are contained in the request. Now because due to some technical issues I'm not able to show you my terminal, but if you want to see what all things are contained in the request, you can just print request here and go to this URL and open up the terminal and you will see what all things are contained in the request. Cool. So reviews.user equal to request.user and reviews.movie equal to movie. Now this movie is the movie that we fetched from the PK. So now our review is saved, but there is a case, and the case is I will just give in here HTTP response because I don't have time to import messages. HTTP response, where is HTTP response? I think I need to just give it myself. HTTP response. I will give review already exists. So why I'm giving this? It's because you see here we did one user can already give a movie review only once, but we are showing form to everyone on the website. So it may happen that a user has already submitted a review. Now he is again filling the form and trying to give it a review. Now if that happens, reviews.save will throw an error, and when it will throw an error, it will stop our server because an error has occurred. So we will be smart here and use Python features try and accept. We'll try to save the review, and if it throws the error, we already know why it's throwing the error, and it's because the review already exists. So now it will not break our server, it will just print HTTP response review already exists. And we will let's not print it because it will move to another page. Okay, it will just return back to the page, nothing will be posted. Okay, so if all these things occur, then what we will do is we will push back the user to the movie description page. But you notice when if I push the user back to movie description page, I need a PK here for which movie I am referring to. Now, when I'm pushing back the user to the movie description page, I need to pass in that PK. So That's what this quarks is. Keyword quark stands for keyword arguments. So PK. So push into the movie description URL with this PK. Now this line, these three lines will actually push the user to this view. That's indirectly the same page, but form not submitted. Cool. Now let's create a URL for this, and URL for this will be similar to this one, because I will be needing here I will give add review. View is called add review, and I need a primary key, and this time our URL will be add underscore review. Save. So we have made our view, we have made our URL, and now it's time to fix the template. So fixing the template, you notice that if I don't pass in an action, then what it will do is it will automatically post the form to the view that is actually serving this page, i.e. it will post this to this URL, to this view. But we are not handling any post request here. We are actually handling the post request in this view. So we need to define action, and we need to pass in URL, and the URL will be second app add review, and alongside the URL we need to pass in a primary key, because you notice in URLs we also need primary key. So primary key of the movie. So in this case PK is equals to, in this template we have movie object that we are actually showing this page for. So movie and get its PK. So that's all. And submit review, it should work. I will save this, check if my server is running. Yep, it's running. Go back to the Firefox. I will refresh the page, try to check. Yep, and I am logged in as test, but you notice that test has already submitted a review, so I will log out and log in to another user that I created, test2. Password is test password. Login, go to description. Now pass in, this time I will write review from test to user and submit review, and you notice review has come. Now again if I try to submit it, oops, something happened and we are getting the review again and again. Something is happening in models, so we need to fix it. Go back to models. Unique together. Okay. Now what happened is when I passed in this meta class, I forgot to migrate. Now this unique together needs migrations, and we just forgot to add migrations. That's why it's keep on adding it again and again. So let me first delete those models, slash admin. I will go to admin, log into the admin, login, go to movie reviews, and I will delete these two reviews. Go. Yes, I'm sure I've deleted these two reviews. And now I will migrate the commands. I will run the migrations again. And create and run server. Okay, so now we have applied this setting, and now when I will try to pass in the I will log in given test2 test password, login, go to description, let's add a review, submit review. See, nothing happens because it should be unique. But when I go back, Hitman, and let's add a review here, review added. Now let's try to add another review here by the same user, submit review, nothing happens. And let's log in, test password, login, Hitman. I'm seeing the reviews and I add in my review, IE test user, submit review, it's added. So till now we are complete with our project. Now there's just one thing left I need to show you guys, and let's go to admin panel for this and go to movie details. Now let's delete Hitman. Before deleting that, let's see, there's 2 reviews for Hitman, and when I delete the movie Hitman, go, it automatically deletes movie reviews. Yes, I'm sure. And when I go to see, and this is happening because we provided on delete models.cascade. So when when an upper object is deleted, all those things that are referencing it are also deleted. And one more thing I need to show you guys is, now I have deleted the Hitman movie, but when I go to Atom and I check my media folder, the image for Hitman is still there. I have deleted the object, but image is still there. That means it is not deleting the media files. So this is really a very bad practice in when you will deploy your application to real servers, because servers will get overloaded. Even if you delete your objects, media file will still remain there. So there's an easy way to prevent this, and the way is just installing a simple package called Django Cleanup. So pip install Django-cleanup. So this is the command that you need to install. This is the command for installing that package, and I will install it. Control C. I will install it in my environment. It's very small package, it will just install instantaneously, and only thing you need to do is just add it in your installed apps. Django-cleanup. Now it's a good practice to migrate and make migrations and migrate whenever you add a app here. So just because some of these apps have their own migration, so we need to apply those migrations. So it's a good practice whenever you add an app here, run the commands, make migrations and migrate. So I will run those commands, make migrations. Oops, I named the package wrong. It's actually Django_cleanup. Make migrations and migrate. Don't worry, it will show you no changes detected, but it's just a safe practice to run these commands. Now if I run the server and I go back to my Firefox and refresh the page. Now if I delete Mission Impossible 2, delete selected movies, go, yes, I'm sure the movie is deleted. Now let's check whether its image is deleted or not. You see, its image is deleted. Only these two images are left, which were actually the images for Hitman and Mission Impossible 1. Now we installed the app Hitman after uh, now we installed the app Django Cleanup after deleting Hitman, so it does not do anything with the that model image, but it has deleted the image for Mission Impossible 2. Not only image, any media file related to that model will be deleted. So it's an easy way to keep your server clean. Now that's all for today's session. See you guys in the next session. Thank you, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't show you the terminal and for all the errors we came across, but those errors just give you an idea how you can debug those when you are coding. So don't take it in a negative way, take it in a positive way. You are learning how to debug an error. I showed you how the errors can come when wherever the where what are the places you can mess up and how you can fix those errors. So that's all for today's session, and soon we will be having our next session in which we will be making a complete project, which is actually a good one, not this basic. It will have full front end and everything in it. So see you guys then, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and our channel. Bye guys.